What if I could share with you within a few minutes a really simple, easy tool that can help increase the chance by up to 72% of sticking to your New Year habits and your New Year's resolutions? I don't believe that we fail just because of lack of motivation. I personally feel it's because of lack of visibility. And my little tool can make all of the difference. So keep watching, and I'm going to show exactly how this can really help change things for you. But in the meantime, I'm going inside because it's freezing. All right, we're back inside now, a little bit warmer. Okay, so we're going to talk about in this episode why so many of us struggle to stick to New Year's resolutions and what can we do to make it a lot easier to stick to them. You might get a little view of Snowflake or Little Rabbit at some stage, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, so why is it that up to 80% of people don't stick to their New Year's resolutions by 30 days, so the end of the month? I think there's loads of reasons, isn't there? I think, first of all, it puts a lot of pressure on. We say the word New Year resolution, so it's something that we can only start on at the beginning of the year. We put so much emphasis on it. When we make these pledges in our mind, it's typically over Christmas, start of the year, we're not working, we're in chill mode, and then bang, we're back to work, life's busy, we're running around at 100 miles an hour. Not so easy to stick to these things that we dreamt of doing. Number two, there's a lot of pressure on it. I'd rather look at it being as new habits, because a new habit can start on any given day. You don't have to wait till the first of the month. You don't have to wait for a Monday. You can just decide, great, okay, today's the day, now's the moment, I'm going to start on something. So what's really helped me over the years is using some sort of accountability board. In the past, it used to be a book, a journal, and I'd break it down into 4 or 5 different kind of goals that I'm looking to stay a bit more focused on, a little bit more accountable to myself. But they've got to be real. It doesn't want to feel like you're a slave to it. It doesn't want to feel like it's a chore. It's something that you want to actually fill in every day. So now I'm thinking I'm going to use this whiteboard. Why? Because it's something I can put in the kitchen. I can put it in the lounge. It's somewhere that I'm going to see every single day. I don't have to open up my phone. I don't have to open up a book. It's here. So what this does is it gives us something to aim for. And what I think is really important with things is it's got to be realistic, bite-sized chunks. So for me, and it will be different for everybody out there, I need to really focus on some really important areas this year. So rather than saying, I'm going to be brilliant at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I'm going to be great at everything, it's impossible. It's already failed before it's began. So I want to pick out what are the most important couple of things to me that I put value on, and that's really important, putting value on change. It might be, for example, somebody wants to stop smoking. Okay, they might not want to stop smoking for themselves because they enjoy it. They're not so bothered about the health. They are, but they'll take it as it comes. But they might put value on it, for example, because my children need me. They're going to miss me if the worst thing happens to me. And by smoking doesn't mean, obviously, that you're necessarily going to live shorter than other people, but percentages will say, might say otherwise. So I think life's about putting the percentages in our hands. So for me, the number one most important thing for me that I need to get in a better routine with is sleep. Does anybody else struggle with not getting enough sleep and getting to sleep early enough? Hit like and let me know so I'm not the only one, or stick it in the comments. How many hours sleep do you get do you get each night? In the past, for me, it used to be a case of, with my old businesses, that my mind was so overticking. I had so much anxiety, so much going on, so many staff, so many stresses in personal life and business life that I couldn't sleep at night. I had terrible insomnia. And I might do an episode on how I actually got on top of that. But I was waking up 4, 5, 6 times a night, couldn't sleep, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, for now, I actually, once I get to sleep, I sleep pretty well. My problem is getting to sleep early enough. I'm like a kid who doesn't want to go to sleep. I love the nighttime. Why? Because it's peaceful, because my ADHD brain, and many maybe other people's brains out there, my brain becomes very creative. So I want a little bit of chill out time, but then my mind often goes to create and think deeper into certain topics and plan certain things. So I love the nighttime, and I love nothing more than watching my good old friend Bruce Parry on one of his documentaries. I watched that something in nature for the last 20, 30 minutes of every night to help me get to sleep. But I'm not getting to sleep early enough. So for me now, sleep is my number one. Number two, and I'll run through these quite quick. I've got a bad knee. I can't do any intensive stuff in the gym for another 6 weeks or so. So swimming, I've got no excuse not to swim. I don't really like swimming. It's cold, but I've got to start doing it if I want to stay more active, stay in better shape, and also feel better. Meditation. I also want to at least meditate for at least 5 minutes every day. So it's going to be a simple tick or cross. Did I do it? Productivity. How much have I done today that was actually productive? It doesn't have to be work related. It can be stuff around the house. It might be general paperwork, general stuff of life. It might be putting your clothes away. It might be putting away the dishes. It might be tidying the garden. It doesn't matter what it is. How productive were you? I score myself out of 10. Food. At the minute, I need to probably lose about 5% of my body weight, which is about 4 kilos. So I'm going to score myself out of 10. How well did I eat that day in terms of health? At the minute, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm probably scoring about a 10. I've been really good today. Everything I've eaten's been healthy. Will I still score that later on tonight? Who knows? Packet of crisps might come out. So I only score everything when I go to bed. Apart from in the morning, I score how I slept, how many hours did I sleep. And I also, the final category is kilos or pounds, depending on where you are in the world. I measure my weight every day. So I've got sleep. Did I do some swim? Did I meditate? Productivity, food, and weight. You might change a lot of this. For some people, you might actually need to put weight on. So you want to actually make sure that your weight is going up. Some people might want to do less exercise. Maybe you've become in a pattern of doing so much exercise that maybe it's not healthy for you. Some people might be sleeping too long, believe it or not. They might be a little bit too comfy in their bed and not want to get up in the morning. So what I want to do more of, some people want to do less of. What some people want to do more of, I want to do less of, if that makes any sense. So, but it's about updating this every single day. You get a little small dopamine hit when you know that you've put something in that feels right. And if you've not quite got the right result that day, cool. Guess what? The greatest thing is the sun comes up the next day. Is another opportunity to go and make those small changes. Because why I mentioned that you've got a 72% better chance using this tool or in general is if you can get 7 days of new changes done. It has something to do with the can't even say it, neural pathways, which basically means is our brain. The more we do things, the more we repeat things, they become second nature. You know, who likes to have a chocolate biscuit or something sweet after having something to eat? I do. Who likes to do this or this that comes together with something? There's so many things that come together. But you can reprogram your way of thinking. You don't have to associate this with this. You can create new patterns. And if you can do these new patterns for just 7 days, there's a 72% chance that come the end of the month, you'll still be living your life with these new patterns and habits. So that's it really. A lot of January comes down to motivation, and this month's videos are going to be very much about how do we stay motivated. I'm going to talk about burnout. I have been there. I've got a wardrobe full of mental, emotional burnout, but I've got an episode coming up when I film it. It's going to be called something on the lines of From Burnout to Balance. I now live in some sort of reasonable balance after continually hitting the wall with burnout. So there's going to be a whole few episodes in January about motivation, how to stay feeling positive. So let me know in the comments, what are you working on? What are your New Year habits, if not one for another word of resolutions? What do you want to stick to? And what are your tips? What's your tips to stay focused with what you're trying to achieve and make change? But for me, a big one is being accountable to yourself, realistic bite-sized chunks and milestones that can be hit, not getting discouraged if you miss a day or have a few bad days, get back on the horse and go again. And number 4, I can't even remember, but just stick to it. Just start, just get there. That's what I was thinking of, is put meaningful purpose on change. Unless you put heavy purpose on making a change of habit, you ain't going to stick at it. So it's not for me or anybody else out there, and people love to judge that we shouldn't do this, this, or this, rather than look at themselves. You know yourself what you would like to make small adjustments, changes, improvements to. You know yourself what's important to you most. So I'll leave that with you. Please subscribe to Life with Paul M. Turn the notifications on, because there's loads more of real life stories of life's ups and downs, stuff that I've gone through. Every day is a school day for me, but I've learned a lot along the way. And most of what I've learned has been through difficult, painful, tough moments, yet I'm still smiling. All the best, and we'll be back for another episode soon. Lots of love.